March 9th, 2023. How's it going, guys? Well, I've got another video for you. What are we going to be talking about today? Dating. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to talk about what men are looking for, what women are looking for. Okay, what I see anyway. What am I looking for? I'm looking for somebody halfway intelligent. Somebody that can wield this energy, metaphysic-wise. Somebody knowledgeable. Somebody in fairly physically good health. Somebody younger. Probably, I would say, mid-30s now. I started looking for ladies in their mid-40s, but what I've come across, what I was told by a younger lady, is that pretty much those ladies are pretty much done. And what I've seen out there when I've talked to some of them, that's about what I've come across. So, that's just my opinion. Now, I come across a few things in the last couple of weeks I've seen. And I also want to talk about what are women looking for. To me, it seems like the women are just looking for money. And what is a woman going to say the guys are looking for? Men are probably just looking for sex. Now, like I say, what I'm looking for is a combination of things. Somebody that's halfway intelligent. Somebody that could wield this biokinetic energy. Sex. I like sex too. And am I looking for somebody for their money? No. I think, to me, that is just setting the deal up for disaster. And when you go out to date, any of these women that are wanting to be taken to a restaurant and you put $300 out on them, those aren't the ones to be going out with. I'll guarantee you that, because it ain't never going to make it. But if you would put out that kind of money for like a one-night stand, I guess that's okay. But what kills me about all this, what I see, is back in the 80s, when I graduated, you'd go out on a date and nobody talked about, it didn't matter where you went and ate. I mean, you could go to Pizza Hut, you could go to McDonald's, you could go to like Golden Corral or whatever was out there, you know. You didn't go to fancy restaurants like down the plaza unless you were going to, maybe say for one of my, certain events. Say like if somebody was getting ready to get married and they were going out to eat and stuff. Or, oh God, what am I looking to say here? Just, it had to be a special event for something like that. To go out and spend a couple $100, at a restaurant like that back in that time period. But to me, that doesn't impress me. I mean, if you're having to pay a woman money like that, then it's just like prostitute, because that's all they care for you. And when your money runs out, they'll be gone. So for the guys, to me in this day and age, women make just as much, even more than some men. It should be a balance. It should be an even keel on all this. But, and like when myself personally, I just say, I don't like when I'm working out there, I don't make very much money. I just make basic. Right now, I mean, like last time when I worked out there, World's Fun, I think I was making like $16 an hour. Is what I was making. I come across different things, and me and my son, we go out and eat different restaurants, and we eat at like McDonald's and Hardee's and, Wendy's and all of them. And in those places, I don't know what the minimum is now, but I know if you run the deal, it's like Hardee's had the lowest, I think, when you run the deal, it's like it should be like $7.50. I think minimum's above that now. Isn't it about 10 now, I think? But then McDonald's had the highest for like starting pay. In between, I think Wendy's was like mid-grade, like $9 or whatever. That was before minimum got changed, I think. But I'm just thinking about all this. And you got women in there and stuff. And it just amazes me. I mean, they're looking for somebody, a millionaire, is what they're looking for. Good luck. There's not that many out there. I'll tell you that much. But getting on with this a little bit. I'm out and about, go to the zoo, go to lots of different places and stuff. And I come across a couple different things. And it just amazes me the difference between the men and the women. And also age-wise if you're going out. Now, I'm very active. I keep going. There's people that don't like people my age. Well, that's tough. They think some of these younger people think that they're going to be it. But I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of younger people out there. This kind of changes subject for an instant, but a lot of them have compromised immune systems. And a lot of them don't have the immunity that they did. And when we talk about someday maybe something happening like a flash or something and having to survive, it could be a lot more difficult than they think. They think if they're banded in groups and stuff like that, that's going to save them. It's probably not. But getting on with this, there was a lady and a gentleman that passed me at the zoo. And this is the last couple of weeks. I'm going to give you a couple, 3 stories here. And this lady, she was probably, I'm guessing maybe mid-50s, okay? And she was with a guy, probably, I'd say 30-something. And I could see the guy, he looked real uneasy as he was, I was walking through with some people, and they were walking the other way and stuff, and he just looked real uneasy being with her. Now, what really caught my eye, I mean, this lady was fairly good looking, and she was skinny, and she looked like she was well off and stuff, and he was dressed fairly well off looking too. But he didn't look like he wanted to be there. He really didn't. And I just thought, boy, the vibes and like I say, I pick up on all that stuff. It didn't feel good, and you kind of had to feel sorry for the lady in a sense, because I mean, if she thinks that guy is going to stick with her, probably not. But it's been a compromise. People compromise between relationships and money and having power and making that money. So it's a trade-off. There you go. If you worked all your life, you got all that big money, but then you were left with no body. There you go. And then I come across a guy. Like I said, guys, I was married to a German for 18 years, my ex. And there was this guy. He was probably, I'd say, about 65. And this guy was German. He was bald-headed. And he was with a younger gal. I'd say it was probably about 38 years old. And but I could just see, I mean, now the gal didn't look like she wasn't bothered by being with him at all. But then it also went through my mind too, I could tell that it just looked like to me, it all had to do with money. Here we go again. Money, money, money. And if a relationship's based just on that, I just don't see it ever, working. The thing of this is, if you can go out and date, and when you date, I'm a firm believer now that you should at least date for at least 2 years. I mean, you're going to have to commit to at least that long to see if it's even worth it. And if somebody won't go along at a halfway even pace and do something like that, I don't see it. Like I say, I don't see it ever making it. Definitely not. Now, when I get to think about this, another thing too is sex. We're going to talk about that for a second. there's some women, a lot of these women don't want to, they don't want to have sex. Well, then I would say if you like sex, I would say that isn't probably the one for you. Now I'm going to talk about some stuff in my past too that I seen. I used to go dance a lot, and around all different ages of people. And the thing of this is, some of these women, there was this gal, she at that time period, she was probably, I don't know, 45, maybe 50 years old. But she liked to dance a lot. But this other guy that she was going with, I guess he liked going out, but he liked having sex. But I heard one night, she's talking to this other gal, and said, I just, I'm not quite going because he is, occasionally I have to have, sex with him. Well, think about this for a second. I mean, if this guy's going with her to dance with her, now this was precision dancing. This was like, East Coast, West Coast, all that and everything and stuff. But I mean, she wasn't willing to give out anything to do anything like that, but then she wanted him to dance with her all night long. I don't know. There's got to be a compromise on this stuff, just a little bit. And I don't know. I just don't see it. Now, when I look at these younger ladies, sometimes I think about, they probably look at me and can you keep up? Oh, I can keep up. But my whole deal is I'm wondering if they're any good. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, they're so used to these gentlemen just wanting to have sex for maybe 2 minutes or 5 minutes. Do they actually know how to actually have sex for 2 hours or 3 hours? Have foreplay and all that. I don't know. And that's what I look at. And I think, some of these younger ones, I think they know, oh, sure, they can probably get the guy off. But that's not the point. Well, to 90% of the guys, it might be the point. But to me, to be able to actually feel, okay, there's a big difference in all that. This kind of changes the subject too. That I was dancing with this other group one night, and this one was at a funky town, and this one gal wanted to go up and dance with her, and I said, "Do you want to go dance?" So I got to have a drink first before I dance. Now she wasn't wanting me to buy her drink. That wasn't the deal. She had to get drunk kind of before she could dance. And to me, anytime if you're having any kind of, to me, if you're dancing, you get good vibes off that. You don't have to drink. You don't have to get high to feel good stuff. Just like sex. I mean, there's people, like these women today, all of them, smoking their weed and everything else, desensitizing themselves and stuff. I don't know. It just blows my mind, the feeling, not being able to feel any sensation. Maybe that's the difference if you can actually wield the energy, feel, the chi energy itself, and if you just don't really care. So, I guess that's probably another thing in itself. But it just amazed me, and I noticed the last time when me and my son was even up there at Ameristar, there was a lot of older gentlemen with younger women by about 20 years or better up there. So, but and then is it just, also, how many of them really care about the guys, or is it just about their money? One of the guys is in one of the dance groups that I used to go to. He was Latin, and he had went through a divorce, and he was going out with younger gals, but he was putting out money. There ain't no nothing different to that than, like I say, than a prostitute. This one gal wanted to go dance with some of these gals could dance. They could actually precision dance. She told me, so I'll go this weekend dance with you, but I need a new bedroom suite. Can you believe it, guys? Oh my God. I don't know, but I mean, that ain't gonna last anyway. There's no connection there. There's nothing there. And as the time goes on here, and we get closer to this event getting ready to happen, what's going to happen? Now, I'm not affiliated with any other YouTube channels, but a Suspicious Observer a few days back did a video talking about men and women and stuff. And you guys get a chance to check it out. But like I said, I'm not affiliated with any other YouTube channel, but I just get to think about all this. And I don't think they really think about it. What down the line to be able to survive, what it would take. Now, a lot of these guys, I mean, I got people over here around me, around in this neighborhood. Well, we got 11 people in one house, 8 people in the other house, 6 people in this house. And I get to think, what do they bring? What would they bring to the table? And I don't know. Well, see, the younger ones think just because they're young, they think they're the ones going to survive. See, I disagree. Because like I say, there's a lot more to all this. You have to look about the radiation coming in, their immune systems and everything else. Not counting all the drugs, all the stuff they're putting into their systems and stuff. And I don't see it. Oh, that's another thing. Also on this dating deal. Finding somebody that's not doing drugs. I mean, here you go again. I mean, that's, here in Kansas City, that's another almost impossible thing here when it comes to all that. And it's just unbelievable. Now, I'm allergic to marijuana. I'm allergic to actually all grass. But marijuana, I have a real high reaction point too. I had one of those 40 scratch tests done on my back way back. Now, one of the doctors told me, he said, boy, don't ever try that. He even said, reaction you had on that, because these blisters, it blisters up on your back, and then they gauge that blister. And it was humongous. So, yeah. So, definitely not good. But trying to find, in this day and age, trying to find something that's halfway decent out there, something that's halfway healthy, something that's halfway active. But, and somebody that's open-minded. See, me, I'm looking for somebody that's open-minded too. I mean, they got to be able to flex. I look at some of these gals out there, and they have like their nose ring look like, and their lip rings. Now, guys, I used to have a lip ring. I took the lip ring out because when I went to World's Fun up there, when I worked up there, but I had a lip. I thought that was cool. I mean, these people, they just you got to be able to flex. You got to be able to do all that. But when I look at all this, like I say again, I just I don't know. And then, like, what else could they bring to the table? I mean, I'm looking for somebody that's got some knowledge, but not something that's just driven by money alone. Because, when the power and the lights go out, that's not going to do it, guys. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to lots of things, from electronics, which that won't do no good. And I don't mean like computers and stuff, but I do know how to wire. Worked on cars. I know how to rebuild engines. That won't do no good. I do know construction though too. My dad built a lot of service stations for Hudson and Coke Marketing. So I've been around it all. And I'm very versatile. I can take almost anything and come up with new ideas. And that's what I'm looking for in a gal that's younger. But is there any out there that's even got that ability anymore. I don't know. And like I say, the other ones, the older ones, they're on their track to heading down towards the end, I guess. Because, I mean, there's no diversity, there's nothing else to all of it. And it's not good. I mean, everybody's on their path, I guess. But I don't know. But I don't see it. I mean, what's these younger ones going to do? They're going to smoke their weed when the power goes out, and what else are they going to do? Yeah. Well, they might know how to farm weed, but they're going to have problems with their grow lights because their grow lights ain't going to work because there ain't going to be no power. So then they're going to have some other problems, aren't they? I know that suspicious observer. He had people asking if he was going to grow, I think, weed like and stuff. I think you better be worried about growing food. See, that's what I see in all this. I don't see good things coming for some of them out there. Definitely not. Because you got to be versatile. But anyway, we got off the subject here a little bit. But anyway, guys, keep your eyes open and have a good one.